Wow. Just wow. You know, when I finish watching a new episode of Helluva, I often have to contemplate how I really feel without the hype of new content to make these scripts. But for the first time, I didn't need to. I don't need the hype to vanish for me to discover how I truly feel from a rewatch standpoint. I can ignore that agility and know this is how I see the episode for what it really is. With that being said...
Oops.
My name is Liver, and if you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single video that I upload. So let's get started. Fizzarali and Osmodius were never heavy on my mind up until the start of Season 2, but this episode goes out of its way to express what people liked and wanted to see from them, and I believe it fits. I'll go as far to say they're cuter than Eminem. These two are so damn adorable and give us an idea of what Stolitz could be if they just communicated. But they want to be discreet about it. As in the words of Fizz, love is stupid. It's mainly to uphold Ozzy's reputation as the sin of lust, but I also think if Mammon doesn't already know about these two, he wouldn't be happy. We still haven't met Mammon, but we do know he's been acquainted with Fizz, and it's a definite fact that as the sin of greed, Mammon isn't one to let things he doesn't enjoy fly. It's his way or no way. I can't say too much as I'm going off the little information we know about him, but being the sin of greed is also all the more reason he'd use Fizz as a piece of merchandise as well as a cash grab. I'd say at the most he cares very little about Fizz in general. No chance of truly knowing until the next episode, Mammon's musical special. Ozzy, on the other hand, cares so very much about his so-called business partner, and doesn't want Fizz to go to greed by himself, even just to buy milk and practice his juggling. Hell is surely not safe, especially for famous folk. Fizz is not only an imp, but is shown later in that episode as being terrible in combat, and Ozzy likely knows this. But Fizz insists that he'll be fine, and off he goes. Not before being interrupted during a love sesh, of course. Little does Fizz know, Blitz is also in the greed ring. Unsurprising, a fight ensues. Fizz kinda had it coming, let's be real. So while they're out in the street brawling, we hear some familiar voices, and see some familiar faces.
Because we really need a big score right now.
The Bears had a royal on the ropes just last week.
I'm not gonna lie, I did think Crimson was out of the question for this episode, but holy hell was Stryker a surprise. I thought we wouldn't see him again until Mastermind or something. If he continued working for Crimson after this, I'm sure even after finding out that Stryker had a brawl with IMP, Crimson wouldn't hesitate to continue using him for his deeds. And I wouldn't put it past him for him to allow Stryker to murder his son, foreshadowed at the end of X's and O's. As Crimson goes on, he for some reason does not question Stryker as he gets up and looks out the window, where he notices the former best friends rolling all around as a crowd of people watch, and he ropes them into the office. But now it's time for Stolitz. Finally, after over a year, we see him ask Ozzy for a crystal to give to Blitz in order to end their arrangement. First hinted at in the circus, then again in Western Energy. We already know Stolitz has real feelings for Blitz, and although reluctantly, so does he. And while this episode's main focus is in Stolitz, the little is discussed from both of them just goes to show how little either of these two talk. But we'll talk more about these two in a moment. I actually really like how Ozzy values consent and makes it clear if Stolitz is looking for some love potion, he doesn't fuck with that. He's nothing like Val, and it honestly disgusts me that some people not only are annoyed they're not similar in those terms, but legitimately want that to happen. That's not even what his song in Ozzy's was about. It was solely about bringing love into this club, make it raunchy. Not to mention, this is a fictional show that doesn't follow the traditional rules of hell. This is Viv's version, of course the way of life isn't the same here. I apologize, I just really needed to touch on that subject because it was bothering me. Crimson reveals to Ozzy through a recording that he has captured his lover, and lets him know his lawyer will be on his way to allow him to get Fizz back. And while Stolitz generously helps him with that, Blitz and Fizz argue, as well as how Blitz feels when it comes to the prince. Side note, I absolutely love how Stolitz just happily helped Ozzy with the papers. It's not like he knew Blitz was also in trouble and he wanted to save him. He just naturally assisted the sin of lust without anything to gain from it, and I believe a scene like this was needed. That goes to show how kind Stolitz generally is. He truly is nothing like the rest of his kind. Although, I don't think Blitz and I see eye to eye when it comes to Stolitz.
Hey, Stolitz only cares about having a rugged peasant raw dog him into his mattress. It's nothing, you know, It's nothing else. I mean, Stolas is just a loud, thirsty bitch who loves feeling the thrill of getting dicked by the lower class. It's a novelty to him.
This hurts him, it really does. I imagine Blitz would only get this defensive about his and Stolas' relationship when with Fizz because of the large amount of tension, while near people like Moxie and Millie, he'd probably be a little less harsh. But Blitz feels so salty about this because he loves Stolas, and he hates what power that gives him. Not only that, but Fizz isn't just someone he has tension with, but a reminder of the night it was supposedly proved that Stolas sees him as nothing more than a plaything, an object to satisfy his needs. He also might still be upset with himself when it comes to Western Energy, as it's revealed it's been about a week since then, as well as being in the presence of Stryker, and we have no idea if the two of them have interacted after they texted when Stolas was in the hospital. For all we know, Blitz could think Stolas is still in the hospital. Another reason this shows he's hurt by this is that he continues on rambling about it without letting anything stop him. He just lets it out, ignoring what Fizz says in between, other than his sarcastic comment that Blitz sadly believes.
And then he'll call me and try and see how my day was, and he'll pretend to care about me and comment on my photos and laugh at my jokes.
Oh, well, that's definitely your clue right there that it's all bullshit.
I know, right? He's just a fake privileged asshole.
Stryker is also worth mentioning, as he continues letting his ego just take over his personality, and you can really see by the end of the episode his sanity is literally dripping down into a filthy puddle. He's tired of losing because in his eyes, he's a winner, always has, and always will be. I won't be surprised if he ends up with a few scars of his own next time we see him, and without a doubt, he will be leaving zero remorse. I don't think either Stryker or Crimson will appear in the next episode, though I don't disapprove of this idea. Back to our boys. After having escaped, we're met with this.
An accident? Are you kidding me? You always had it out for me because people liked me better. You wanted me gone because you were jealous, just wanting the spotlight. I looked up to you. I thought you were my best friend. You ruined my life. You just left me. I lost so much because of you, and you selfish piece of shit, you didn't even care.
I did care! It was an accident, it was! Okay, you're right, it was all my fault, okay? I should have done more to help. I was trying. There was so much going on. I was trying to get help, Fizz. It was still my fault.
Needless to say, what happened that day was a freak accident where Blitz lost his best friend with severe physical damage, his sister who now wants absolutely nothing to do with him, and his mother who unfortunately gave her last breath in that fire. Such a disaster was caused by something as simple as a shove. But wait, go back a second. Blitz had a letter he wanted to give to Fizz. A letter to confess how he felt. Not only that, but a nice flower. He for sure put his damn best effort into that thing. One thing we know about our Helluva boss is that he's not attentive when it comes to his spelling and wording. From the words visible, there isn't a single misspelled word. I imagine he went through this thing and rewrote it various times to make sure it was perfect. He could have been planning this for months, searching for the right moment and proper wording. But he thought it'd be no use. For Blitz, this is a horrible memory to let him know that he can never have the perfect partner, because even when he tries to express his feelings, his tiniest mistakes result in the worst of heartbreak. While he gets hurt too, it hurts the other more. It also explains why he's so negative when talking about Stolas. Not only is he with someone he once had feelings for and hurt, this is likely his first failed relationship, and from the ones we're aware of, as well as the info of the outcome, the consequences appear to be the most severe in this one specifically. As we discover, Blitz tried to visit Fizz, but was told Fizz didn't want to see him. Except Fizz never denied a visit, nor did he know he came. These two have had a feud for 15 years, partly because of a misunderstanding. But who lied to them? Simple. Cash. This man is ruthless. In the circus, he properly charges Paimon for Fizz when thinking he'd like to buy him, but instantly doubles down when it's revealed Paimon wants Blitz. We can see at Fizz's party that he literally gives him a card that says, "Wish you were my son." Cash would most definitely be utterly furious with Blitz after finding out he caused the fire, and would not hesitate to tear apart his own son from his most prized performer, most likely to avoid, in words he'd probably use, Fizz downgrading to the low life of Blitz. While he may treat Fizz better, it's definitely because of the profit he receives, and not because he views him as a son. He's determined not to lose it. While this doesn't make them instantly put this behind them, of course, it allows them to be open with how they really felt and just treat each other normally. They still have plenty of chemistry and are able to use teamwork to get out of this conflict. Fizz really knows how to set up a distraction. Half of the stuff Blitz was doing wasn't even registering to me. It's just such an entertaining song. But then Fizz is in trouble again. Another fire that Blitz caused. Except Blitz isn't leaving him behind. While he wasn't able to assist last time, he is now. And to Fizz, that meant so much.
Would it fuck up the moment if we made out right now?
Classic Blitz. After a smidge of fluff, we finally see the couple interact again. This time, simply being free in their relationship. They're both just so happy, there's no need to hide it. Besides, they know what Ozzy will do to him. While mending Fizz's arm, Ozzy mentions the reason he had a meeting with Stolas was because he wanted one of the crystals to give to Blitz, so he denied him access. I don't care what anyone says, the smile and excited tone Ozzy uses thinking he'd please his lover is quite simply too cute. Fizz tells him not to worry and to just let the guy have it. After all, he earned it, and Ozzy would do anything for him. And the episode ends with the happy couple heading off to their bedroom to end their crazy day on a loving note. Nothing, and I mean nothing, could have prepared me for such an amazing episode. It certainly lived up to the hype. My excitement from the day of the trailer to the night before it aired never vanished. Fantastic work, Spindlehorse. My name is Liver, and I'll see you next time.